lot of this is cultural, right? Much of these things that we're talking about is the Defense Department understanding the changing environment and the ability and willingness to adapt to it because this model that was created that worked for a long time during the Cold War is very outdated now, and so and not just giving lip service to it, but actually implementing those kinds of reforms. And so some of the things that we're talking about is you've got the big primes and they do a great job, but you have to have an ecosystem of whether it's startups or smaller companies that could be part of that defense industrial base that makes it more resilient. And so whether that's grant funding, so there's a little bit more certainty, whether it's kind of some of the regulations like these sort of regulations that are a barrier to entry for smaller contractors, we got to reform that kind of stuff. And the NDA, the good news is the one thing that still works in the Congress, and there aren't a lot of things that work, is every year, and I think it's 64 straight years, we do an NDAA, a National Defense Authorization Act, where you sit in a room with Republicans and Democrats and you outline on the Armed Services Committee what are the priorities of the United States from a military perspective, from a Defense Department. And so some of the reforms, we were kind of ahead of the game. I'm glad Pete Hegseth is getting rid of sort of this DEI obsession that the military had, right? We need to focus on merit. That's happening. I think that's an important cultural reform. I also think this procurement piece that we've started on, but my guess is it'll be kind of supercharged this year. Will be very important because it kind of sets the stage for the important weapon systems that we need to develop in the future. So, and also, I think moving some of the thinking and the innovation outside of the coasts. We're talking about having defense tech hubs throughout the country to kind of encourage that kind of innovation in so-called flyover country too.